Hello guys, how are you? So today in this tutorial we are going to see how to set up replication rules from one bucket to another bucket so that we can have the replication enabled in our source bucket that might be in any different account or in a different region to a destination bucket. Okay, and they can also be in the same account or in a different account also. So let's go to S3 console. Okay, so here we need create buckets first. So give bucket name, and as you know, bucket name should be globally unique. Okay, so this is our source daddy bucket. Okay, and you just leave all other options default, public access, because we don't need public access for this, and versioning should be enabled. This is a prerequisite, guys, to set up replication rules. So you should have versioning enabled in your S3 bucket. So encryption is default. So nowadays S3 is encrypting everything, every object in your S3 bucket using SSC S3 and Amazon S3 managed keys. Okay, so that's a good thing. Click on create bucket. So our source bucket is created. Now in the similar way, create your destination bucket. So destination mommy bucket. Okay, and for here also we should enable versioning. Okay, leave every option as it is, and we need to create one more bucket, guys. So as we move forward with this tutorial, so you will see where this bucket will be used. Okay, so we can name this as temp bucket for future. Okay, so in this bucket we don't need to enable versioning, that's fine. So leave everything as it is and click on create bucket. Okay, so now we have three buckets: source, destination, and temp for future use. So as of now we don't have any replication rule enabled, right? So if I go to source bucket and just wait, guys, we'll also open this destination bucket page so that we can verify quickly. Okay, so we can see this is the source bucket and this is the destination bucket. So let me upload something in the source bucket first. So let's upload this demo Python file. Okay, click on upload. So now we have this demo.py file in our source bucket, but it's not here in the mommy bucket. Okay, so in this tutorial what we want, so there are two use cases. So first is this: we want the existing data of source bucket to be replicated to mommy's bucket, right? That is the first use case. So we want our old data to be replicated to the mommy's bucket, and the future data, like after we enabled replication, so all the future data that is going to be uploaded here, it should be replicated here in the destination bucket. Okay, so this use case might be applicable to a variety of use cases, guys. Like you are working on a application development and you have a production environment and you are storing your data in a production bucket like here, and you want a test bucket, right? You want a test environment to be in a different account or in a different region, so you can have your production data and test data separately, right? So whatever you put here, it will go to your test bucket and it will be there for use, right? You don't need to copy and again and again right? So that is what we want to achieve, guys. So let's start with setting up the replication rule. So in the source bucket, you go to here in the management tab, scroll down a little bit, and you will see the replication rules. So as of now, because we just created this bucket, so we don't have any replication rule, right? So create replication rule. So give any name like demo replication rule, status enabled, priority is same, source bucket is our source steady bucket. Okay, now this is asking us to apply a rule. So what this rule is asking, it is asking whether we want to apply this application rule to all the objects in this bucket or to some specific objects. So I want to apply this to all the objects in my bucket. So I want all the objects from my source bucket to go to the destination bucket. Okay, now we need to select a destination where we want to replication to happen. So the bucket in this account or the destination bucket is in another account. So we have in the same account, right? So we will choose this option. If you have in different accounts, you can definitely choose this option, and you will need to provide AWS account ID here. Okay, and then choose the bucket name. But for this tutorial, we have in this account. Okay, so we need to browse S3 and we can select our destination Momi bucket. Okay, so the source is Daddy and destination is Momi. So from Daddy to Momi, you want your replication to happen. Okay, and as per this sheet, you need IAM role for this, because your S3 bucket is going to copy objects from here to here. So guys, we need an IAM role for that. Okay, but we have not created any role. So what we will do, we will choose this option and create new role will appear here. So what AWS will do, AWS will create IAM role on our behalf. Okay, so we don't have to do anything. You can skip this option because they are already encrypted using SSC S3. Okay, so this option is about changing the storage classes. So if we want to change the storage class of the destination bucket, we can do so using this option. At this point of time, we don't need to do anything. Okay, we don't need to choose any option. So we will click on save. So when we click on save, it will ask, do you want to replicate existing objects? So what we will do, we will click yes, replicate existing objects, because we want to replicate existing objects also and future objects also, right? So future objects will be replicated by this replication configuration that we just created, but we want our old data to be replicated also. So we'll choose this option and click on submit. So here we need to create this batch operation job. So remember, this is a one-time job. So this job will run only at this point of time. Only today it will run. Okay, so it will not run again. So this is a one-time job, because whatever the data that you have in your source bucket, it will be copied to the destination bucket via this job. Okay, so we will say okay, automatic run the job when it's ready. And this is a completion report. So when you run this job, there will be a completion report generated. So in this completion report, you will have details about the objects. Okay, so like if you face any error, so you will have the error codes in the completion report, and if you successfully replicate the objects, you will have successful messages also. So we will click on generate completion report. So this is a very good setting, guys. So AWS recommends this, like you should generate completion report every time you do a batch replication. Okay, so what is the scope? So we want to cover all the tasks. Okay, we want to catch all the tasks. So we need to select a bucket where we want to save this completion report. Okay, so now we will choose our this bucket, temporary bucket for future use. So this is the reason why we have created this bucket, because we want to save some extra files in it. So when we run this operation, batch operation, S3 batch operation, so the completion report will be saved in this bucket. Okay, again, for this batch application to run, we need IAM role, right? So definitely we will leave it to AWS. It will create role for ourselves. Click on save. So guys, our job is created. Okay, as you can see, the status is new. So what will going to happen now? It will first count the objects, how many objects are there. Okay, so count will appear here, and this is the completion percentage. So when it's completes, you will see 100% here, and if anything fails, so that you can see here. So let's refresh it. So as you can see, the total object is 1 now, because we have one object in the source, but we don't have anything here in the destination bucket. So I'm refreshing, guys. You can see there are okay. So as you can see, this demo.py is just popped up. So this batch job replicated previous data, old data from our source daddy's bucket to mommy's bucket. Okay, and if you see the status of this batch operation, it is still in active state, but we can see, right, we can verify that data is already there. Okay, so until the status of this batch operation changes, okay, it changed, guys. As you can see, this is 100% complete and total object is 1 and there is no failure. So this is completed. So our old data is replicated to our new bucket. Okay, so what we will test now, we will test if we upload anything to this S3 bucket. For example, this time.py file. So if I upload here in my source daddy bucket, as you can see, there are 2 files now. So will it appear here in the destination mommy bucket? So let's see. So if it appears, then we have successfully set up our replication between the 2 buckets. Okay, so yeah, it is here, guys. So that means we have successfully set up replication between these 2 buckets, source bucket and destination bucket. Okay, so okay guys, so I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you next time.